Welcome, Unlimited Humans. Welcome. You're about to see behind the scenes and see how to prepare to choosing self mastery over crisis. Whatever crisis you may be going through right now, this weekend, 19th, 20th, and 21st, from Friday to Sunday, 11 hours of powerful, insightful journey transformation for you. It's a mini virtual retreat. And well, today it's how to prepare for it, how to prepare for this virtual event, because it's going to be a retreat at the comfort of your home. And it's going to be an upgrade of what your home is, an upgrade of what your house, physical location, office, and workplace is, so that you can shift it around and move things that keep the energy stuck in there, and you're gonna find the presence in there, and you're gonna find the right position for you to stay in integrity in there and keep the energy levels and vitality high, like all of these, the whole next level embodiment coaching, self-empowerment, self-mastery framework in a 3 days packed 11 hours of value and transformation. I'm not alone. I'm not alone in here. I'm not alone today. And I would love you for, first of all, to take a couple of deep breaths. This is for sure great preparation. Together with me, as you breathe in and breathe out, what is some struggle that you may let go of and may go through thoroughly this weekend with us? If there was something you could call crisis in your life, what would that be? How would deeper levels of presence support you in going through it? What great use of higher levels of vitality could you make going over that crisis? How? Unshakable integrity and authenticity in how you show up could help in stepping up beyond that crisis. So this is what this is all about. This is how you get to master yourself. This is why you choose self-mastery over crisis. This is why you choose to join us on this retreat. And I want to introduce my wonderful souls that are co-hosting this little preparation, little but not small, short but not small preparation today. And we have Crystal Legrand and Slavomira Harsegova. One is the woman that I'm coming to call to everyone, the Dragon Woman CEO, COO in Next Level Embodiment, because she's really is a mover, and she's behind the logistics of this mini virtual retreat and the mini retreats in person and destination retreats that you will soon hear about from Next Level Embodiment in places like South Africa, Bali, Caribbeans, and well, virtually and in person in Tuscany, here where I am, and with guest speakers like the wonderful, and by the way, that's Crystal. I'm not sure I said the name at the beginning. That would have been like a little slip, but that's Crystal Legrand. Hi, Crystal. Thank you
Hi,
for
hi everyone.
hosting this. And Slavomira as a guest and very special co-host in this mini virtual retreat, and probably some mini retreat in person and some other mini virtual retreat in the future. Well, she's a superpower when it comes to organizing your space, harmonizing your energy. Indeed, second element of next level embodiment, staying at that high level and unlimited, let me say, levels of vitality. And she does it wonderfully. With what she does, that she'll speak about. In short, I tend to belong in my speaking, so I really want to hear from Crystal, from Hearts, from Slavomira. Uh, how are you doing? What are you bringing into the space? Um, the mic is yours. Who wants to?
Yes.
I will leave it this way. Crystal, you seem
Yeah,
ready.
absolutely. So I am super excited. And since I have been working in the background with you to assure that this experience is just beyond expectations, really diving into content, but also making sure that the delivery or the promises that we're making, the transformational outcomes are achieved. And so this is a session that I'm really excited about, in fact, because I feel like persons need to understand a bit of what a retreat should be. And even if they're coming to a physical retreat, there's some things that you yourself do. So we know that the coaches and the facilitators, they prepare for retreats, but most of the time the guests, they just walk in, and we don't want that. We want guests to be just as prepared to receive as the coaches are to deliver what they're delivering, so that there is like a meeting of expectations. And so hopefully through this session, we can ignite the desire to be in the space, but also to be prepared to receive.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, that's really what I'm here to talk about, and I'm super excited to also work with Slavomira on the space of just creating this environment. So over to
Hmm.
you, Slav.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really like excited about this opportunity and experience. Can you hear me good? Because I don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Wonderful. Please.
So I would like to talk about the space, like how to set up the space, because it's so underrated. Like influence of your space, and but it's connected with just everything in your life, so, and yes, that's right, that if it would be like in-person retreat, so of course we would set up a space and just make it beautiful and inviting and just bring this energy into that. But in virtual retreat, uh, just everyone needs to create his own space. But this could be also like great opportunity, because I'm going to explain on the retreat how you can prepare any space for any kind of activities or just any situation, because it's all about energy. And even every change, every next level, if you want to get to your next level, it's always about you need to change something. You just can't to get to your next level with the skills and just actions and everything that just brought you where you are right now. You need to change something. And every change just requires a lot of energy, like additional energy, not what's
Hmm.
you are using in your like normal life. You need to put additional energy, and where to, how to get it. And
Hmm.
also if you want to change something, so you need to express this change into your space, because otherwise, if you are living in old energy and you want to change something but it's still like holding you back. So yeah, it's very important. And everyone, when we are talking about personal growth and next level and things like this, it's mostly like internal work.
Mhm.
But it's just connected, and it could be, or it could be easy for you. It's just not easy, but it could be more like you can make your space or create your space that could be supportive to
Mhm.
your growth, or it could block you.
Hold back.
So hold it back. Yeah.
Right. Mm.
So it's like you
And I
can
give,
either surf the wave, or you can just
yeah. Mm.
yeah, that's the
Yes,
point.
yes. Now, I love the point that you both are making. Indeed, look, I just want to bring an actual example, an actual demonstration. I'm going through it. It's very funny how, as coaches, facilitators, trainers, whatsoever, we create an experience, and as we create that experience, we need to go through the thinking process and the processing of whatever we want to deliver, right? So, as one of the things was to actually enable people with Use Lavomira, for example, to create their space at home for this virtual retreat. It's very funny how I could not help but revolutionize the space I'm living with, I'm living in. And the space I'm living in, I give this example in particular. I mean, I'm big about transformation. I kind of uh, obsessed with personal and inner work. And there was that same space I'm living in. It had a bench, a wooden bench, and that was there since 1994. Okay. That bench was in that same position since 1994. And I swear it was starting to get on my nerves. Like every single time moving something, but that bench was there, very old, very like heavy, very just there, comfortable, but there. And last weekend on Sunday, I was like, enough of that. I jumped on that and I made it. And I rebuilt it because I wouldn't know where to put it anyways. And it's a beautiful bench. But I remade it in a different way. So I moved the whole thing around. There's so much space now. And my being really feels almost like allowed to move the next steps now. And I had been kind of hitting a certain part of myself for so long that now it's like, I mean, I don't want to say that that bench was the cause of me being stuck, quote unquote, but definitely it wasn't helping. So how could you use your environment to help yourself to grow and embody that next level? This is a little bit the point. This is why virtual retreat is not to be underrated in comparison to an in-person retreat, because you actually bring in home with you the transformation, and you're transforming with your environment. And this is what we're bringing on with Slavomira. What she was talking about is pretty genius, and you're about to experience something crazy. If you jump on the 19th, that she'll do her first session, and on the 21st she'll do the actual second session to tie it together to prepare you for the retreat. We go through the transformation and whole itinerary, 11 hours, and then we land onto seeing what you transformed and how to translate it into your new space with Slavomira. It's pretty crazy. Crystal, what you've got to say about all of these and
Yeah, absolutely. So first, I actually wanted to say two things. Something that Slavomir said earlier, and it made me think about a quote that I used to hear before, and I don't know who this is accredited to, but it's in terms of your inner feelings and everything else oftentimes is reflected in your environment. So however I'm feeling today, whether I make my bed or I clean my dishes or I do whatever it is in my environment, is a reflection of my internal present state. And so it's really interesting as we talk about how to prepare for this, is for persons to take this time in these next 24 hours or 48 hours as we work towards the retreat to assess where you're at right now, because you can actually see around you as you hear about how to prepare for the retreat. Just take a moment to just look at your present state. Just take a moment to watch your environment. And the significance of that is you now start to see a reflection of yourself in your environment. So if you respect yourself, and this is, let me paraphrase, so I'll reel that in as I heard it. So if you want to create more value around, how you want to present yourself to yourself. So not even to the world, because we're talking in your own home and in your own personal space. So how do you value that is reflected in how you value your space. So like this bench that you mentioned earlier is maybe it started to only now annoy you because you're now vibrating at a different frequency, and now that old state wants to actually be burnt away in some kind of way. So you want to get your new self can no longer tolerate what your old self accepted. And I'm not the expert on this one. This was a coach that taught me this, and it made me think about it. But Slavomira, is this some of what happens in our space, and how can we get persons to first assess what they're looking at in their space, and then how do we get them to kind of cleanse a bit of the space, even in preparation for this weekend?
Yeah, and this is exactly, you're just pointing it out, because we are not aware of our space. We just express naturally. It's the similar, like we are not aware how we expressing in our face or body, our mood. You can see if you're just automatically, you're sad, you're just sad. If you are vital, so you express that automatically. You don't need to think how I will do that, and in space it's the same. You just do it automatically, but it's the same principle. Like if you are, I don't know, sad or something, and you want to get over that, so you can smile and look at you in the mirror and smile, and and just intentionally change body posture, and it will just have an impact on your internal feelings. And the same is with the space. You can just express in advance, if you have a vision, who you want to become, how you want to feel, you can express that in your space in advance, and it will help you to just get there. And another thing I would like to mention, so many people try to like affirmations, you're repeating something to you in your head, some words, but our mind is used to read symbols. And in your space, if you just repeat for 5 minutes some affirmation, but then you are looking around you and you can see in your space something completely different, like you are trying to tell yourself, oh, I'm worthy, but then in your space, it's everything like screaming on it. You're not worthy. Look at this. You just don't care about yourself, So it's just stronger than just a few minutes of words. So, and another thing, how you can watch your space and observe is just imagine if you will go for a walk and then come to your home with new eyes, or imagine if you are waiting for like queen is supposed to visit you or something. Are you proud of what she will see, or any, I don't know, important person for you? Are you proud what someone important will see in your home? Is this really your expression, your true self, or would it take hours to just, clean or do some changes. So this is, or just imagine that you are in this space for the first time. If this is, I don't know, hotel room or something, you were never been here before, and just really look at everything and what you feel, what would you think about the person who lives there?
Yeah.
If it, just see your home with fresh eyes and
Yeah.
just reflect on that, feel.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, what would you say? What would you say then, if we had to get people? So, okay, on Friday evening, you'll have the first session, and pretty much you will be really going deep into how to move out the stuff that we don't want around, and how to bring in the stuff that we really want around, to actually boost, let me use this word for the sake of it, right? But boost the transformation, boost getting into deep presence, going into establishing integrity and authenticity. What are the first things? Because next level embodiment framework, like, as the first piece, has that deep presence and self-awareness, or observation of the space. How would you invite people to look at things? From what eyes, with what intention should people look at their own environment, so that it eases transformation, and so that, yeah, they're ready for the retreat, and they get on Friday, the work that they have to do is still deep, but I mean, it's easier.
Yeah, the first is always intention, like create a vision. How do you want to feel?
That's it.
Or what's your intention to how you want to go through, how you want to feel? This is like basically how we can perceive the energy is how do you feel? Is this good energy? Do you feel good? So the intention is important. And I like to speak in examples. So if your intention, not for the retreat, but just let's say if your intention is that you want to relax and recharge, so you wouldn't try to do that in a space that is noisy and just to act, you can understand the difference. So the first thing is just tune into how do you want to feel? What do you want to achieve? And create a special place for that, not just like sitting on couch in living room, but you can create a special place for that, like create some visible boundaries and set up the energy so you can just go into that without distractions, without things that you are used to see every day and you are used to just react some way or just do some usual things. Just do some change, make some
Right.
change, and you can even bring elements, but it's for a longer time to talk about elements. I will do that on a
course.
retreat, but just set up intention, imagine or feel how do you want to feel or what you want to achieve, and then imagine what kind of space would just help you to tune into this feeling. You can work with colors and or this could be even small things, but just change something, set up some special place for that. Because if you would go to some retreat, you will be, you would be in a special place and not in your home. So just make this special place, change something, or just set up something.
Yeah, so actually, that actually leans into something that I wanted to ask. So, in preparation, just thinking about just these next over the next 2 days, as we mentioned earlier, the first thing is to assess your space right now and decide where do I want to be, or where can I have the most undisturbed, peaceful space to be able to receive from the facilitators in during this retreat. So if we had an assignment, I'm thinking one is to assess your space, assess the no, well then maybe set the intention first, as you said. So let's actually start with what you said. So one being set your intentions for this retreat. Find out what you really want out of this experience. Then two, assessing your space to decide where am I going to intentionally position myself and how do I want that space to feel. And something that you said earlier also came as my point three. So 3 steps to preparing would be selecting an exterior item or a picture or a whatever it is or a plant that represents something that makes you feel connected to the intention that you have. So if we had to give them, are those 3 good assignments? So 1, intention; 2, to assess this space, and assess the space and pick a location. And then 3, selecting one thing to bring with you into that space that is an exterior reminder of the intention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. What do you think about that, Ayrton? I think I have to go back and do some homework for my own space to see how I want to,
Yeah,
where I want
myself too.
to be in this moment. That would be really interesting.
Oh no, myself too. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I love these 3 points. I love assignments. Go, guys. Whether you're on the retreat or not, whether you're on this retreat or in the next ones, actually take these assignments and bring them home because I mean, I can assure you, whenever you become self-awareness, and then I mean, your home is who you are, quote unquote. There's some. I mean, we can talk about Vastu, we can talk about Feng Shui, we can talk about these pieces of quite ancient wisdom and knowledge that are brought into our modern society. These reflects us, and so I mean, it's cleaning a mirror. You see yourself better, and cleaning your space, you leave yourself better. And this is totally one of the things that you can do. I gave you the example of what it was, like what Slavomira was talking about, and Crystal too. What I did on Sunday, that was massive. And yeah, now I'm actually thinking, okay, what could I take? And I was thinking of, for example, my actual Infinites, double crossing Infinites logo that I actually wanted. I have one, but I want a new one. Indeed, I want a new one and better design, quote unquote, and put it somewhere. Because it's this reminder, and I interact with it indeed from this new space in the place where I'm living in, and yeah, it's very powerful. So taking it home, shall we drop into how the retreat looks like in terms of like the a little bit of the runway, or Crystal, there's anything more that we should be sharing?
No, we want to just lay out what the expectations should be, or at least what we are coming to the table with, right? And then we can talk about how persons can meet us in this space in terms of just their physical coming in. So as you mentioned, we will be starting on Friday, the 19th of May, and it's going to be in the evening on our end. But for our viewers and participants that are in the US, it's midday. So just depending on your time zones, what we would recommend is that you go to the website and first check the time slots and adapt those times to your local time. And so, Ayrton, just a quick reminder, what time are we starting um,
Friday.
on
So,
Friday?
so look, it will be on Friday, Central European Time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So it is a 2 hours on Friday, and the 6 p.m. Central European Time means 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US and 9 a.m. in Pacific Time, California. What is that? I'm bad in this moment. Also, like keeping in mind the times, and so yeah, I was trying to do too much, too quick, too early, right? So 6 p.m.
Yeah.
on Friday, and then it will be at 3 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Central European Time on Saturday and Sunday. So 4 hours and a half on Saturday, 4 hours and a half on Sunday. It is an 11 hours overall. Two plus 4.5 or plus 4.5, and on Saturday. So it will be starting at 9 a.m. for the Eastern Standard Time US, and it will be at 6 a.m. like a real retreat, I'd say, in the California Pacific daytime. And same for Saturday and Sunday. So repeating it real quick: 6 p.m. Central European Time, 12 p.m. and 9 a.m. On Friday. Then it will be a 3 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday for Central European Time, 9 a.m. for the Eastern Standard, and 6 a.m. for the Pacific. And this will be the time zones, and when the actual retreat will be happening. There will be one main retreat. Well, I believe Crystal's gonna guide through this, and please, I drop the mic.
Yeah, so just recapping really quickly then. So we're starting at 6 p.m. on Friday, and I will only quote the central times here in Europe, and then you, depending on where you're at, as you are global, we are a global audience here. So we will have you then do the homework of figuring out what time zone it is on your end. So 6 p.m. on Friday, we're starting off with introductions from all the speakers, as well as we'll have the first session on clearing and setting up your space with Slavomira. She will dive into that and help us to make sure that we become receptive in ourselves and in our environments for the sessions. On Saturday, then of course we will also begin then at, am I saying this correctly? I'm scrolling down on my notes here, at 6 p.m.
Yeah, 3 Saturday, 3 p.m.
So on Central European Time, 3 p.m. And we have two sessions on this day, one with our facilitator, Donna, and the other with Jamie J. And you can definitely go back to our Meet the Speakers, Meet the Host video here on all our social media channels to meet them and see what to expect in their session. So I'll invite you to check out those videos. And then on Sunday, we also have two sessions, one with our host here, Ayrton, and as well as Slavomira, rounding us off with how to build continuity into everything that the hosts and facilitators will be pouring into you. And so that is 6 p.m. Friday, 3 p.m. Saturday, 3 p.m. Sunday. We're looking forward to having you at each session. Once you register, you'll receive this itinerary in your inbox as well so that you have it. And we are really excited in terms of coming back or landing on making sure that you are just as receptive as the facilitators are to deliver. I would some encouragements just in general. What I usually encourage people to do when they come to physical retreats is to decide if you need to fast. Decide if you how you want to be hydrated. Wear comfortable clothing. Think about your physical self, even though you're not able to touch and feel, people in the room, you're touching and feeling yourself still. So make sure that physically you're comfortable in terms of what you're wearing, in terms of how, what you're eating that particular day. Do what, so I won't give advice, of course, on diet and how to come into the space, but do what is necessary for you to be as receptive as you possibly can. So just be intentional about coming into the space, because we can't promise, or we can't collectively partner to promise transformation unless both parties are in the room and willing to do the work. So that's my admonition, is to make sure that you're prepared to receive, because the capacity to give must be met by the capacity to receive. And then we have some level of transformation taking place or being birthed in the moment. And that's a lesson that I learned from one of my coaches that I've held there, that I become very intentional about when I join a training program and how I show up in that program. So if you're showing up, be present. And so with that, yes, Ayrton, I turn it back to you, to round us off. Or yeah.
Yeah, I do believe we actually went all the way in and thoroughly through what we had to go through, especially for the intention of preparing for the retreat and making it happen. Slavomira, you've been amazing. I do believe that people already got some value here. So I'd love even to know what the value that you got, if you got so far, was of this session, this preparation session. Preparation is part of the transformation, because otherwise you risk to hit right the speed, the speed of sound too fast, and kind of being impacted by it. That's what happens when jets break the speed of sound. But this is what we want for you, like that next level, and that next level embodiment, therefore something that is sustainable, therefore something that is for you to take away, and not just the hype of a retreat, but a curve that goes higher. And this is all about choosing self-mastery. So self-mastery is not making it once, it's mastering it. So choosing it and choosing it and choosing it again, whenever and whatever crisis and hard times and challenge and difficulty you might go through life, because we'll go through it. We'll go through it. Even the ones that show up with the highest levels of energy and enthusiasm and smile, they go through shit in life. And we can kind of agree on that. So what is yours? Come on this virtual mini retreat. Choosing self-mastery over crisis is up to you. We can't choose it for you. This was for you to prepare for it. In there, you'll prepare even better, and then we'll land on some transformation. So if you're in, just go and join it. I do believe there's some link down in the descriptions and comments and all the places where it needs to be, so that you can subscribe. And also, it's about to come down in the video. Crystal is about to do some magic with that. And what else, Lavomira? Do you have some last words that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Yeah. Because I would invite people also to have fun. You can imagine, where in the world would you like to go to, like an in-person retreat, and just bring some item to remind you, or just you can go even farther and prepare some space. Have fun, like play with it, because joy brings so much energy, and you can just go through that even, and you can have a break in any hard situation you are going through. So just take a break, have fun, and be playful, because life is a journey, and you just can't wait to have fun only after you will do all these important things. No, you just need to find a way how to enjoy the journey. So have fun, be playful, and just enjoy the retreat. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. I think I'll bring all my exotic pieces in the stream throughout the retreat. Now that you said that, like, yeah, I'll bring my South Africans, my Mexican, my Bolivian, whatsoever. We all
Yeah.
here
Oh,
singing.
Yeah,
all I
exactly.
need is a Caribbean breeze candle or something. So I definitely need to go pick up some Caribbean scented sea salt something so I can
Yeah.
smell the ocean. Absolutely. I thought of it just as you said it. I was like, oh yes, this is fantastic. I need to bring the ocean to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
So,
all, what you're bringing on, bring what you're pleased by. We love you. Stay unlimited. And I'd say let's sign off from here. And well, we'll see you on Friday. Stay tuned.
there we go.